I wasn't very well. I didn't know what was wrong, but I knew there was something wrong and I didn't know what it was. And I just thought it was the winter blues. I'd been out with my daughter and son-in-law. We went back to her place and I just lost the plot. I went to the doctors and he said, you've got severe depression. The only thing that we can put it down to was I'd had so much stress and bereavement over the years. My husband died when he was 42 of cancer. I was 37. I had 3 little girls in school. Struggled and brought them up. I didn't think of myself because I just had those children to think of. Then my eldest daughter, she loved show jumping and horse trials. She was horse mad. I was in work in Usk one morning on a Saturday, and it was 7 years to the day that my husband died. The sergeant at the police station had a phone call from Dorchester Police to see if he knew me. He was told then that my daughter had been killed in a car crash at 22. She had a boyfriend, and I was talking to her the night before she died on the phone. That was in the May, and she was going to get engaged in the June. And that was the last conversation I had with her. So as you can imagine, it was horrible. At that time, I was planning my youngest daughter's wedding. We had to alter the plans for the wedding. My husband's brother, only brother, was going to give my daughter away. He died in the June of cancer. So then we had to find someone to give my daughter away as well. The wedding was a nightmare in a way because being in a church, seeing a friend and another friend, it was a bit of an ordeal. Anyway, we got through that. My daughter was married and it was fine. Then I seemed to have a series of family bereavements. My mother and father-in-law died quite quickly. I had a sister and a husband died within 6 weeks of each other. This is why I think I'm coming through depression pretty well, because I remember what their children and grandchildren went through. And I kept saying to myself, when I was really down in the dumps, I can't put my children and grandchildren, what I saw my great-nephews and nieces go through. And I had a leaflet put through my door. I had it on my coffee table for about 4 weeks, looking at it, putting it back, picking it up. And one Friday morning I decided that I had to do something about it. I thought, well, if somebody's put a leaflet through my door like this, it's only fair that I go and try and find out what it's about. So I went down there, met Sandra. She gave me a cup of tea. She said, would you like a lunch? And I said, well, I haven't got my purse with me. It's just a spur of the moment thing. She said, that's fine. You've got plenty, so you can have lunch and have a chat. So I said, okay, I'll give it a whirl. Everybody was friendly. I'm glad I went, because I came back home thinking, because I'd been ill with depression, that I'd done something really out of my comfort zone for the first time for 18 months. I sat down and had a thought about it, and I thought, I enjoyed that, so I must make the effort to go again. So come the following Friday, I thought, shall I or shan't I? Can I do it again? So I did, and it was great. I really, really enjoyed it. And Sandra was talking about going on a trip to Western-super-Mare. So she said, would you like to come? And I said, I'd love to go, but there's no way that I can go. And I said, well, I've got very bad depression and I haven't got any confidence and I can't go to strange places on my own. She just said, you won't be on your own. I promise you I will stay with you. I won't leave your side all day. She really did stay with me, and I came back home and I had a wonderful day. But it was absolutely fantastic, and I haven't looked back. Everything I can go to, I go to. As I go on the trips, been up to Widderstones quite a lot on different events, and Easter dinners, Easter lunches. I'm going off now to Western-super-Mare, and I've got different things lined up that I'm going to. The Inter-Hub quiz, I'm looking forward to that. The activities are good. They make you stop and think, especially the quizzes, which to me it made my brain kick in again, which it just wasn't working properly. When we were up on Friday with Ian Johnson, there's no way I could have said anything then, because I was just so withdrawn, I couldn't have done it. By asking a question in a crowded room, I got back home and I thought, I did that. I think that's it's worth a lot. When we had that taster session up at Widderstones, I was talking to the lady who was running that little group, and the woman next to me said, I'm glad I sat next to you, because some of the things you've been talking about, I'm going through, or I've been through, and I thought I was the only one in the world that felt like it. I think that made a big difference. Given me a lot more confidence, because within perhaps 6 or 7 weeks of going to the hub, I plucked up enough courage to go to the pensioners one night, and I haven't looked back. I go there once a fortnight. So I thought, right, I've done the lunch club, I've joined the pensioners, I went down and joined the local WI every Wednesday afternoon, which I think if I hadn't have gone down to the lunch club that Friday, I wouldn't have done all the other things I've done now. I'd still be sort of thinking, well, I can't do this and I can't do that. So I'm quite pleased. I started off down at the hub after some time, sort of going in and saying, well, can I do some washing up? They said, oh yes, went from there. Now, it's last quite some time, I make the tea and the coffees when the members arrive, which is great because I feel I'm putting something back into something that did a lot for me. It mightn't sound a lot, but it was a hell of a lot. I sort of do a bit more now. I sort of, if they're a bit short down there or busy or we have extra things to do, I'll take the meals around, I'll do some washing up. I even have the key now to set it up on a Friday morning, which is great. I feel I'm putting a lot back into what I've had. Don't feel you're on your own, because it's not that kind of an organisation. And there's no pressure on you. Just come and have a cup of tea and a chat. And if you think it's okay, come and join us. You don't have to turn up every week, but obviously, if you can, so much the better. There's so much going on up there, which is great. It has helped me put my life back into perspective again. I am me again. I've come back to life, if you like, because before before I had depression, and when I had depression really bad, I was just existing. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want any interest in anything. But Friday morning, it changed. Mother's off gallivanting again. We'll have to make an appointment to see her. Even my nephew rings up to make sure I'm here now. You're better. This is great. It really has changed my life completely. I'm me again now, which I'd lost. I wasn't me. I was a stranger. And I'm back to the bouncy me that I was before.